Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. Today I want to tackle one of the strangest and really kind of frightening when you think about it, conspiracy theories that seems to be coming back into the public discussion lately. This theory has been going around for years now, and unlike many other conspiracy theories, there are some facts that at least don't make it seem as crazy as it sounds, but by no means prove that this is actually anything more than a theory. And as you read in the title, this theory is based off of something called Project Lucifer. And what Project Lucifer is, or is said to be, is a secret NASA project whereby which they have attempted in the past and are going to again this year to blow up one of our planets. At first it was Jupiter, and now it's going to be Saturn, both of which are humongous gas giants, and it's said that they're going to send in a plutonium bomb of sorts into the atmospheres of these planets, causing a chain reaction that will then turn one of these planets into a star, or second sun. Now, as crazy as that might sound at first, let's just go ahead and go over a couple of things that we do know about this conspiracy, where it came from, and what, facts kind of support it and what doesn't support it. So, a paper titled The Lucifer Project emerged way back online that claimed NASA was deliberately trying to direct the Cassini space probe into Saturn's dense atmosphere, where it would then destruct, causing a runaway nuclear fusion process on Saturn that would trigger the emergence of a new sun. It is then said that the creation of this new sun will be specifically utilized by the moons of Saturn, specifically Titan, which will then allow them to become suitable for colonization by humans. But we're jumping ahead. So let's go back a bit, and let's talk about Jupiter first. For those of you who don't know, there was another space probe that was launched back in 1989, and this was called the Galileo probe. And Galileo was an American unmanned spacecraft that was sent out and studied the planet Jupiter along with its moons, as well as many other bodies in the solar system. It consisted of an orbiter and an entry probe, and it was an amazingly successful mission. Now, of course, all of these probes that have been sent up into space, whether we're talking about Galileo, Cassini, Voyager, they all require energy to operate. And in order for them to do so, they would have needed a reliable fuel source more than just solar energy. So to counter this, NASA has equipped all of these probes with an energy source called an RTG, which is short for radioisotope thermoelectric generator. And what is inside of these RTGs are groups of highly radioactive pellets of plutonium-238. And this is what produces the electricity and the energy that powers these probes. And of course, everybody knows what plutonium is. And of course, you don't want to be anywhere near it. So like the Cassini probe, Galileo, which was sent out to Jupiter, contained and was equipped with 2 RTGs, each carrying 17 pounds of plutonium-238. And during the end of Galileo's mission in 2003, NASA made the decision to launch the probe into the atmosphere of Jupiter, sending it to its final demise. And they did this because they were worried about possibly crashing the probe onto one of Jupiter's moons, which would then in turn contaminate said moons. And that's exactly what they did. And this is said to be NASA's first attempt at sending this highly radioactive and highly explosive packaging of plutonium into this planet in order to create a reaction that would cause Jupiter to implode on itself and create a star. But nothing happened, or at least we can say a star was not formed. That we can be sure of. However, there did seem to be an explosion inside of Jupiter that I guess you could say would almost back up at least some of the conspiracy theorists' claims. And you're seeing a set of 2 images here, with the image of Jupiter on the left showing a mysterious black spot that appeared in 2003, and it's being compared to another image on the right of a Jupiter photo snapped in 1994, where yet again another hole was created after the comet Shoemaker-Levy 9 crashed into its atmosphere. So when people discovered this strange black circle that really couldn't be explained, and again occurred about a month after Galileo was sent into the atmosphere, it was widely reported across the web that this was actually an after effect of a massive explosion that occurred deep inside of Jupiter's atmosphere as a result of the plutonium detonation, and that this black spot was a manifestation of said nuclear detonation that had finally risen up to the top of the surface. So this was seen as a failed attempt, which is why they had a backup probe called Cassini, which was this time sent out on a 7-year voyage to planet Saturn. We have featured countless images on the channel from this probe, and it also has visited numerous bodies in the solar system. And so now, the conspiracy has been thrust back into the limelight, with people once again pointing to the fact that just like the Galileo probe, NASA does intend on crashing the Cassini probe into the atmosphere of Saturn on September 5th, 2017. According to the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, as Cassini plunges into Saturn's atmosphere, it will collect some incredibly rich and valuable information. The spacecraft will make detailed maps of Saturn's gravity and magnetic fields, revealing how the planet is arranged on the inside, and possibly helping to solve the mystery of just how fast the interior of Saturn is rotating. And of course, its cameras will take some amazing ultra-close images of Saturn's atmosphere before arriving at its doom. Now, of course, and as I said in the past, there's a very good reason why these probes are sent to their deaths into these atmospheres. The first being that they don't want to potentially crash them on one of the moons that would highly contaminate such moons. And of course, the main reason is that by sending a probe into the atmosphere of one of these gas giants, we will be able to collect a massive array of information and data that we otherwise would never have. But all of this seems to fall by the wayside when talking with some people who believe that this is yet again just another ruse, and that NASA's actual purpose for this probe was to once again launch it into another gas giant and attempt to create a star. And they say they have proof this time, because unlike the Galileo probe, which only contained 34 pounds of plutonium-238, the Cassini probe has been packed with nearly double that, coming to a total weight of 74 pounds of plutonium-238. So of course, conspiracy theorists have said that this provides proof that NASA is not only trying this again, but they have doubled their payload of plutonium in order to maximize the nuclear reaction that will occur once the probe enters Saturn's atmosphere. Now, of course, there have been plenty of people who have come out and said that even with 74 pounds of plutonium, it will mean nothing. It's almost as if you're throwing a lit match into an ocean. And that even if every single atom of plutonium on board the space probe would participate in a nuclear detonation, it wouldn't be enough to start a chain reaction. And if the whole turning a planet into a star thing sounded familiar to you, well, that's probably because it was originally first seen in a film called 2010, which was the sequel to the well-known Stanley Kubrick film 2001: A Space Odyssey. And in the film 2010, the alien monolith that is orbiting Jupiter replicates itself and begins condensing Jupiter, eventually transforming it into a smaller sun. After which, the process turns the former planet's moons into habitable worlds suitable for life, and the people of Earth, coincidentally, name this second sun Lucifer, which of course in Latin means the bringer of light, or light bringing. and it would seem that this is where the conspiracy first started. And due to the fact that Jupiter has in fact been called a failed star in the past, the conspiracy theorists believe that this lack of mass that would have allowed Jupiter to become a star could be countered with the addition of a nuclear reaction brought on by one of these space probes. So, as I said, it's definitely one of the strangest conspiracies that I've come across, but I think for at least now, it's safe to say that Saturn will not be turned into a second star anytime soon. But then again, you never do know, do ya? So, you guys let me know what you think. If you want to, throw me a like on your way out. I really appreciate it. And stay tuned, because we've got a lot more coming, and I'll see you back here in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.